What up, though? It's your main man, DJ Killer Kev, and you're now tapped into the Electric Elevation Podcast. Chill!
My bitch and she know she the baddest, so shit ain't gotta be said. Run up a check on my bitch cause she classy, nasty, my biggest fan. When I get back to the band, we gon' get right to the band.
Elevation Podcast. Today I have my special guest in the building, M. Taylor, who's originally from the D, but he lives in Cali right now.
Absolutely.
All right, so I appreciate you taking the time to come up here while you were out here in Detroit.
You already know, man. Straight up. Anytime I'm home, I like to tap in with the fam. So.
All right, so let's jump right into it.
Straight up.
M. Taylor.
What's the deal?
Why you choose that for your rap name, or how did you come up with that?
I ain't want to be the artist that just make up a name, wake up one day and just start calling myself some shit. You know, everything that I do got to be organic. It got to come from a sacred space of authenticity. And I used to be in the military, so at this particular command that I was at, they call you by your last name in the military, period. But at this command that I was at, we had like 5 or 6 other tailors that had the same pay grade as me. So when we get our uniforms and shit back, you wouldn't be able to really differentiate whose was whose and things of that nature. So I wound up going to the uniform shop. I put my first initial, because my first name is Mario. I put my first initial, then I put a period, and then Taylor. And so the very next day, we had like a uniform inspection, and my chief, he saw my uniform, and he was like, oh, we got somebody trying to stand out. We got M. Taylor over here. And so from then, everybody just kept calling me M. And I just kind of rolled with it. Just felt organic and just felt real.
Okay. So when you went to the military, you went straight when you was like 18?
Yeah, I graduated from high school. I went down to college at Virginia Tech for a minute, and I left there and joined the military.
Okay. Were you rapping at that time, or that came later?
I've been rapping my whole life. I grew up in the streets, and even though we grew up in the streets, we still went to church, and you go to church 1 or 2 days a week, you know what I'm saying? But when you out of church, you still playing them blocks that them corners that them churches is on, you know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to do music. I always wanted to preach, but I never wanted to be a preacher per se in the church. I wanted to take my gospel to the trenches where people can't really go, you know what I'm saying? Where people really need a message or two at, and they can relate to your vibe and your story, you know what I'm saying? So I always felt like I was synonymous with somebody that's from the streets but can take his craft and take it somewhere else and make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing music my whole life.
Okay, that's awesome. What high school did you graduate from?
Northwestern High School. Shout out to the coach, baby. N.O. We in this bitch all day. No doubt.
Okay, so when you first started, when did you first go to the studio and record your music when you took it serious?
I mean, shit, I ain't gonna lie. I've been a serious person my whole fucking life, man. My mom died when I was 12 years old, you know what I'm saying? And my father passed away the same month, different year. But I always try to take life serious, man, because I knew it wasn't a game. My mom told me, hey, son, I ain't gonna be here too much longer, blah, blah, blah. You're gonna have to man up and this and that. How you tell an 11 and 10-year-old that you gotta man up? You know what I'm saying? So that childhood shit I didn't really get to enjoy just being a child. You know, I had younger siblings, younger cousins. I'm the oldest grandson type shit, you know what I'm saying? So, on my mom's side, I'm the oldest grandson. You know, on my dad's side, I got cousins that's older than me, Kev, Rev, you know, other cousins that's older than me and shit. So I definitely had to play a role that you got to be a leader. You got to be somebody that people can depend on, and your accountability got to be there.
For sure.
Straight up.
For sure. So, during your when you're in your writing process, did you take a lot of your grief and hard times that you was dealing with and put it into the music? Was that like an outlet for you?
Honestly, what happened with me is, how can I put it? I was nervous at first to really talk about some of the things that I was going through in my music because this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? I'm from West Side, Dexter, Linwood, Detroit. My dad from the East Side, from the trenches. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot. If you know, you know. It's a lot of shit that transpire in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, a lot of these young niggas, a lot of these young artists, they trigger happy to talk about the shit that they done did, and then criminalization and putting themselves in situations that you can't really get out of. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to find a bridge of being able to talk about what I've been through, but not being so direct. You know what I'm saying? But over the years, I definitely mastered the process of being able to implement my pain and my struggles. And I think that's what helps make my music authentic.
Okay. What year did you move out to LA?
I got out the Navy in 2010. And I was stationed, my last duty station was in San Diego at that time. And I wound up going to some college out there in San Diego. And after I graduated, we wound up going to LA for some Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. And I wound up bumping into the Los Angeles Film School. I was in a group at that time, and we kept riding. I'm like, damn, the film school. And maybe about a block and a half up in Hollywood, on the left side, I seen the recording school. I'm like, oh, hell no, we got to get out the car. I want to see what they're talking about. So we went to the inside of the recording school, and they like, look, the film school and the recording school were our brother and sister schools. They're connected, and they like, yo, you went to you was in the military. The military not only pay for your tuition to come here, but we'll pay you to go to college. And I'm like, what? Yeah, we get 3 bands a month while you in school, and all your tuition is paid for. You get all the grant and loan money. It goes to you. Since your tuition ain't got to get paid, you can spend it how you want. And so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to the recording. I'm gonna do the film school. And my boy, he did the recording school, but after us being in the mix in Hollywood, going partying, clubbing, and turning up every day, after a month, he dropped out of school. I stayed in school. So I finished the film program, and then I re-enrolled into the music production program, and I got a degree from them too. Then re-enrolled and got my bachelor's in entertainment business. You know what I'm saying? So,
awesome.
But that was 2010 is when I moved up to, actually, November 26, 2012 is when I moved to LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that date. It mean a lot to me, straight up.
So when I know you say you were with your boy at first, so when he dropped out, did he leave and he was out there by yourself?
You know what? He still stayed in LA for as long as he could, you know, but after really like being in a place like that, if you're not gainfully employed and working on something like that, it's easy to lose yourself. And he wound up falling out of that space of being a creator, and he wound up going back to church. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. He wound up going into my bad. He wound up going back into the gospel side of things. Shout out to him, and that was that. Then I started getting more momentum and wound up doing my commercial and everything with the LA Film School. They wound up doing an EPK on me. I'll make sure I send you the link so you can check that out.
Okay.
And I just wanted to keep going, man, and I got more results. And then he tried to jump back out of the gospel side of things and try to get back into the hip hop. I'm like, look, man, you ain't got to do that, bro. You know, just find your space and stay there, man, because God got a blessing for you. Man.
So how was it fitting in, being from Detroit in LA? Did people like know right away? Oh, you're not from around here.
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Niggas know Detroit niggas. We got a different kind of energy, and
for
just
sure, different vibe.
Being on the West Coast, LA niggas is LA niggas. You know what I'm saying? You can tell a LA nigga all day. You know what I'm saying? You can tell people who from OT, how they move around, how they dress. You know what I'm saying? The way they talk, certain phrases and words that they use, and just we from the Midwest.
Right.
That's the West Coast. So I call that shit Cali-Troit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like we brothers. That West is just so familiar, and we get along so well. The relationships is incredible between people from California and from Detroit. Look at Eminem and Dr. Dre.
So it sounds like they embraced you well. Nobody like tried to try you because you wasn't from around there.
I ain't gonna jinx nothing, man. Nobody never tried me. I don't want to say niggas know better, but niggas know better. I don't fuck with nobody like that anyway, though. Straight up, man. It's like I'm out here to just show you that I could be a testament. You could be a testament, man. You can come from nothing and you can have anything you want. That's what this shit really about. Straight up. I ain't the hardest nigga, but I handle mine.
So tell me about how you hooked up with Ice-T.
More of that film school. Shout out to the LA Film School. I had just graduated from the film school. I re-enrolled into the music production class. And this girl just kept staring at me in class this one day. Just kept staring at me. And it wasn't no look where she thinking I'm sexy or like nothing like that. It was just, she rubbing her chin. She got the Birdman hand rub going on. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, what the fuck? She looking at me like a bag right now. I'm like, that's how I look at money. I'm like, hold on. So they gave us a break in class. So we got like a 15, 20-minute break. I like to stay in class because I had to finish up some things because I had a studio session with Atlantic Records later that day after school.
Okay.
And so when all the students went out to class, she walked up to my desk and was like, "You're an artist, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "I could tell by your look." She was like, "You familiar with Ice-T?" I was like, "Is this a real question?" And she was like, "Well, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody I think that can change your life." And it wound up being my manager, Hen G. She called him. She passed me the phone. He like, "Yo, send me your top 3 records right now. If I don't hit you back, don't think I didn't get them." I was like, "All right." I sent 3 songs. Within 5 minutes, I got a message saying, "Meet me here after school." And it was like around the corner from where I was at.
Okay.
I go over there, and nigga started rapping my lyrics. So I knew he was serious about what they was talking about. And he like, "Yo, well, we want to put you on a school tour. And just to kind of groom you and get you together, so when Ice comes in town, because Ice will be in town in a month and a half, he got a concert with the rock band Body Count, I want to take you backstage to meet Ice." And so he put me on a school tour. Shout out to Hen G, Chris Roker, Randy Hankins for that. And then
What schools did you go to?
Mostly
West?
Everything was in California.
Okay.
The school tour in California. So middle schools, high schools, all of the popular parks where niggas can't go if you represent a certain color, a certain section. You know what I'm saying?
You did Central Park?
I was everywhere. I'm Central. I did Ted Watkins. I did several Blood parks, several Crip parks, several Latino parks. You know what I'm saying?
Venice Beach?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Several times. I performed out there at the celebrity basketball games. You know what I'm saying? All types of shit out there, man. All types of shit out there, man. So you already know the vibes, man. Shout out to Venice Beach and just shout out to the whole West Coast, man. They being real receptive of my movement and my energy.
Okay. So then once you saw they was serious, Hen G, he moved you around and then...
That's where I was. He took me backstage to go meet Ice. After we got done with the school tour and shit, the dates came upon us. Ice was here in town. He took me backstage and Ice just started rapping. And then he was like, "Spit now." I just started spitting and then he was like, "Hell yeah, welcome to the family." And I just been locked in with Ice ever since, man. So shout out to Hen G for that. Shout out to Big Homie Ice-T.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what was one of the first songs you released when you were out there, or name of your LP?
I ain't gonna lie, man. When I first went out there, my thing was I wanted to learn. I didn't want to be the artist that get tied into these big ass situations and not have no knowledge of who the movers and the shakers are. Right. What makes shit move and shake. You didn't want to
be stuck in no shit you couldn't get out or you weren't paid properly.
I just wanted to know how I could properly service and facilitate my music. How it could get to the hands of the masses or at least into the game changers and the gatekeepers to where my shit is respected. I ain't want to be an artist that's coming out here dropping music and the movers and shakers don't know who the fuck I am. So I spent a year or 2 just networking, meeting people, shaking hands, and just being on the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Introducing myself, man, as a man, because I've learned that face value thing is a real thing. Niggas can sit at home all day, send emails and things like that, and not really have that personal connection like that. But I wasn't striving for that. I wanted that real connection where they can be like, "Oh, that's M-Dot, he cool." You know, I remember the pictures and, you know, just shit like that, man. So that was my thing. I just took a couple of years to learn, and then when I dropped my first single that has produced by Helliva, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog Helliva. I had to make sure I had a Detroit, either a feature or some Detroit production because I'm from Detroit. I didn't want to get it misconstrued being on the West Coast because at the time I was building my catalog with a lot of West Coast artists. I had a lot of features, but none of the songs was out.
Okay.
So, and I'm like, if I come this way and keep dropping all this shit, it's going to look like I'm from Cali. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of held back a little bit. Got the record from Helliva. Me and my dog Fetty put that out. Shout out to my dog Fetty DeMarco. After we put the single out, then I made my rounds in Detroit. Like, boom, let me go get the Sada Baby. Let me get the Icewear Vezo. Let me get DZ. You know what I'm saying? Just making all my rounds in the city and all of that shit to go with all of the West Coast records that I have in my catalog. You know, and that's just how it was. So that record came out, I'm going to say like 4 years ago.
Okay. The song I'm Gonna Get Her Right Back. I like that song.
Oh, they don't like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Shout out to my dog Mozzie. We actually got the remix to that getting played on the radio tonight. Me, Mozzie, Mr. Fab King Tip type shit, man. Let's get it.
Okay, that's a dope song. Y'all got a visual out for that?
You know what? We're doing visuals right now. It's about 80% done.
Okay.
But I just had to find a creative way to finish things up since my dog Mozzie was locked down, man. Y'all gonna love it though, man. Everybody gonna appreciate that for sure.
Okay. And you know, it's definitely a vibe. You definitely got the plugs. I came out to LA.
You know what's up, man?
Yeah. showed us around to a good time.
Every time, anytime y'all
it
out
was
there.
lit. Yep. So you got a new song out now. Talk about your new project that's out now.
Well, the single's called "They Don't Like That." That was with me and Mozzie. The remix drops on May the 12th. But since I'm from Detroit, it's only right I let the world premiere come out the city. You know what I'm saying? So Hot 107.5 FM, they're gonna play the record tonight. With me, Mozzie, Mr. Fab, and King Chip. That's gonna be a single that's coming off my upcoming EP, I Am M. Taylor. Subtitle.
Did they say what time? Do you know what time? Just later on this evening.
Oh yeah, 7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? 4 p.m. Western Pacific. Straight up.
Now, what songs do you have your newer visuals out to? Because I know what's that other song?
Well, we got Let Me Know Some with Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying? I got Let Me Know Some remix. I ain't dropped that video yet, but I did shoot it. I got FMB DZ's part and everything filmed for that. We got Running Up a Bag with Sada Baby. That's out there for y'all to go and check out. Styling. This is the song The Hell of a Produce. That's with me and Fetty DeMarco. You know, executive produced by Ice-T. And I got a short film that I'm working on, you know, that I'm trying to make some noise with too. Called Long Way from the Basics, man. You know, I went to film school, so I want to.
That's only right to go ahead and utilize.
I want to get back into
skills.
the art of soundtracks, man. Y'all remember back in the day when a movie came out and we was equally excited about the soundtrack? You know what I'm saying? Blue Streak, they soundtrack, Gridlocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, soundtracks was the shit at one point.
Had one of the best soundtracks?
Who?
Was Boys in the Hood.
Come on, man.
The Weekend. That shit ain't nothing but another 2 days that niggas act crazy on, and then I'm going, hey, all them songs was the shit.
But that's that era though.
For sure.
So I want to get back into, you know, bringing back musical compositions with the visuals of the films. You know what I'm saying? That's equally important, straight up.
For sure. And then for like the slow songs, Love Jones had one of the best soundtracks too. You could just hear the song and you would think about the movie, but like you were saying, when the soundtrack is dope like that,
set it off.
Every time you hear the song,
Tell me, Set It Off wasn't hot.
It was.
They had one of the hottest lead singles from a movie soundtrack of all fucking time.
For sure, for sure.
Straight up.
So that's gonna be dope for you to do that.
No doubt.
So let's talk about
Butter Rim. The Butter Rim is a classic too.
Sure,
We can do this shit all day.
All day.
Life. Which how y'all want to do it, bro? Like, what's up, nigga? Like, we can do this all day.
So what about females? You got any female features?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, I got female features. Shout out to the ladies.
Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies.
I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love the ladies.
Okay,
I got some
name a
ladies
couple of them.
Let me see. How do I want to position
Anybody
it?
from here?
You know what? I do have some surprise features from Detroit, but I don't want to ruin those yet because you know,
so stay tuned.
It's only so many artists from Detroit that are female MCs. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be the dead giveaway from that, but you know what I'm saying? I got some shit from Detroit coming up.
Okay, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I got some female artists in LA that I fuck with, man. Female artists in New York, Miami. You know, it's a great space and a great time for female artists. You know, and it's a market for the queens out here where they ain't gotta. They really can do what the fuck they want to do. If you're a lyricist, female artist, if you selling sex appeal as a female artist, if you making catchy cadences as a female artist, it's a lane for you. All you got to do is really be committed to it. Stay focused and keep going. And it ain't nothing that you can't do. Male, female, alien, cat, dog, mouse.
Okay, now who inspired you the most from the old school? Artist wise, give me one artist and then one actor.
Old school wise, Big Hurt. I love Big Hurt.
Okay.
Big Hurt was somebody that was very hands-on in the community where I'm from, and he was the motherfucking man. In the whole city, niggas knew who Big Hurt was. You know what I'm saying? And
for sure.
He treated me like his nephew. You know what I'm saying? It was just always love and respect. And then when I finally got to the age and when I came back home and he seen what I was doing, and he just like, damn, man, we raised your little ass, man, and you just a young adult, young man out here, and you know they just always wanted to get behind my career, my movement, and support me. So Big Herc was always one of my favorite artists, and when I got the chance to collaborate with him, I felt like I can collaborate with anybody because I knew how big his impact it was. I ain't never put him out. I got a couple records with Herc.
Okay.
That's what I said. I was just big on learning. My catalog is ridiculous, man.
Okay, so
we got a song called
dropping when you feel like.
We got a song called "Turned Up" with me, Big Herc, Tone, and Rev City on it. I never dropped that record. I even performed that record. I had Rev City, Tone, and Big Herc come out and perform the song with me at the Carbon Lounge like some years ago in Hamtramck. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up. So I mean, I got another record with Big Herc called "I Can Do Anything," and that's probably my favorite record by Big Herc because he gave me that real shit that people always wanted from him. That pain rap that you can relate to. And then it was my song, so I'm like, oh, hell yeah, this is my favorite now.
Now, would you be opposed to shooting a visual to one of your older songs?
No, man, because I make timeless music, too.
Yeah.
I don't make music that's for the moment. Not saying that I haven't used some sort of trendy words and different things in our vernacular and our vocabulary changes up. Different words trend from time to time. And
right.
if you really listen to some records, you can kind of tell when a record was made. You know what I'm saying? And there are certain records, if you listen to it, it's like, damn, you don't care when it was made. Because it's
so good.
And it's just something that's relatable and people go through and that's frequently. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't mind shooting an older video. I got some shit like that I want to do. Like I said, I'm into the art of storytelling, so...
Okay.
Might be old to me, but it's new to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And what's one of your favorite actors?
Big Willie, Will Smith.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I love you.
Okay.
Shout out to the Fresh Prince, man. Real talk, man. He's a motherfucking black superhero. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Nobody's perfect, you know.
For sure.
Shit happens, you know. We go through things as men. We go through things as women. You know,
people don't give him his credit for as much as he.
Man, they give him his credit. They give him his credit, but they look for little reasons. They get that nigga his credit. There ain't no way you can't discredit Will.
You can't.
It's impossible, bro. Impossible.
Now, tell me your short film. What is it about?
Long Way from the Basics. The concept is about a struggling artist that he's getting minimum motion. The engineers he messing with, they don't really like him like that, but they see something in him, you know, so they give him chances everywhere he go, and then out of nowhere he winds up bumping into an older gentleman that's in the industry who has a secret cannabis that has special powers, and it has the ability to help create and get things done for you. You know what I'm saying? And wound up smoking some of the cannabis, and it creates music for me in my case.
Okay.
I had writer's block on this beat. I couldn't write to it. Then I wound up smoking some of the weed. Power cuts off, things come back on, and now the song is recorded. And I never recorded it. I'm like, what the hell?
Okay.
I run home, I test the theory out again. It happens again. So now I'm on to something, you know. So I can't wait to get y'all that. Long Way from the Basics, man. It's going to be really, really fun.
When you think it'll be finished by?
It's done now. Right now, we're working behind the scenes to.
Okay.
We not even just put it out. We're working behind the scenes to really get that shit plugged in, inserted. You know what I'm saying? I want some plug and play shit. I could have been put this shit on Tubi.
Right, but you
paying
higher.
Yeah, I could have did Amazon Prime, but nah, man, we want a platform. I might want to put it on Netflix. I might want to. It might take a turn from the best, and it might go to, instead of it being a short film, it might be an episodic type thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's to say I don't have a couple more scripts? But yeah, man.
So I want to piggyback off something you said for the younger listeners that are out there, because a lot of the new artists that are coming up, they think they can get all their notoriety and fan base from behind the computer. But I like what you said about hands-on and getting out in the field, meeting people, building relationships, and networking. And it's like I talk to a lot of the different younger artists. They be like, but I'm doing this, or they don't really want to do showcases no more. Now, don't get me wrong, all showcases are not created equal, but there are some that are not bad to go to. But I like what you said about you really got to get out here and build those relationships, meet people, network. That's very important.
I just said that's my thing to do. I'm not saying that that's what you have to do to be successful, because
it's
a lot of artists that can be successful not doing it. You know, I just feel like when people know you, you know what I'm saying? It just feels good when you walk in a room and that niggas see you and throw their hands in the air.
For
That's
sure.
my man. So
For
that's
sure.
that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? It just it creates a different demographic for you. You know what I'm saying? And I just appreciate that shit, man. I always like to be somebody that's out there on the scene, straight up. I don't want nobody to look at me and be like, oh, man, he got plugged in with Ice-T and he just leaped over everybody. He ain't put no work in. No, nigga, if you know M. motherfucking Taylor, you know I've been out this bitch on the grind for years, man. I've been foot to the pavement, pedal to the metal. I've been out this bitch hustling and grinding for a long time. I grew up underneath my cousin Rev City and Tone Tone and Killer Kev that been doing this shit since I was in middle school, elementary school. These guys been having deals since they 11, 12 years old type shit, you know, and I got to watch these guys be successful. I got to watch these guys have trial and tribulation and still become victorious.
You want to stick your head over here, Kev?
And still become victorious, you know what I'm saying? Kev, you know, I got to give your flowers, cuz. You know I love you, big cuz.
Wait, I had to tap in real quick.
But yeah, man, that's just what it was for me, man, straight up. I got to have a real life blueprint growing up and watching these guys do their thing. So they didn't even know I was fucking with music, you know, and I wanted to surprise them. I didn't want to be the one that they got all the motion. Let me come in and ask them for everything. No, let me work. Let me put something in motion and let me give them a reason to want to be a part of Lil Cuz's motion, not just because we family.
Right.
Like, damn, he's working. He's actively.
Prove your own.
Straight up.
Your own
And so that's my thing, man. So shout out to Tone Tone, Rev City, E-Dash, Money, you know what I'm saying? The whole crew from New School, you know what I'm saying? Like, Yak. Shout out to all them guys, you know what I'm saying? No doubt. Shout out to Jazzy Faye for even giving these guys the opportunity to do what they did for the city. You know, it was big. Straight up.
Shout out to the East Side.
East Side.
East Side, stand up. Okay, what's 3 things about you that somebody might not know?
I'm a military veteran.
Okay.
I love being a father. I love overcoming adversity. Not saying I look for adversity, but my life been hard my whole life, you know, and I always been taught that as long as you keep God first and you just keep going. I mean, I ain't the ultimate Christian, man. We all thugging out here, you know what I'm saying? But I understand there is a God and God is real, straight up. So keep God in your life in some form or facet, man, and it really ain't nothing you can't achieve. So them are my 3 things that I like
Okay, and then
people to know that they might not know.
where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What's something that you want to do that you're not already doing? You've already mastered being an artist. You've already you're doing your films, which you went to school for. You have a passion for doing that. What else would you like to do?
Raise my kids.
Okay.
And be there for them in any capacity that I can.
Okay.
Whatever it is they're passionate about, I want to make sure that they got all the tools that they need to be successful.
So you want to make sure you build generational wealth.
Generational wealth
Absolutely.
and just knowledge on knowledge, man. I mean, you season that mind and let that motherfucker marinate in some real shit, man. The body is just going to crave knowledge, man. You don't season your mind, then it ain't going to crave something that it never had. You know what I'm saying? Right. And you can be out here feeling like, damn, it's more to life. I don't know what I'm missing, but it's something out there. And that's really what it is. The not getting content. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that shit going. You got to keep it going. Nipsey said the realest shit. Life is a marathon. It ain't nothing that I can run down at the end of the street as fast as I can. Now I got everything I want. I got to do nothing ever again. Nah, man, because then what about the body? What about the upkeep? What about the muscle memory of all the other facilities and facets of the grind? You know what I'm saying? You got to tap on everything a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to the gym. You got to work out the bicep. You got to work out the calf. You got to work out your abs. You got to work out your chest. So the music industry, you got to work out your relationships. You know what I'm saying? With DJs, promoters, engineers, other artists. Man, you got to work out your relationship with the platforms to get it put out. You know what I'm saying? With all these 100,000 other artists that's dropping music at the same time as you. What's going to set you aside and make your shit different? You know what I'm saying? That's where the leg work and the grind and the footwork coming in at. And that's what helps separate you. Straight up.
For sure. So you definitely have a positive vibe. I love your demeanor. It's awesome.
Appreciate that.
And your perspective and the way you look at things is awesome.
Appreciate that.
Okay. Any final thoughts or takeaways?
Stay thirsty. Happy Cinco de Mayo. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Today, since it's Cinco de Mayo, my Spanish name is El Mario. So I'm not M. Dot today. My name is El Mario. You know what I'm saying? Hit your boy up. I'm El M. Dot. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
your social media tags out for me.
Google, Twitter, everything in the world at M. Taylor. MDOTTAYLOR. Just type that shit in anywhere, wherever you listen to music, Amazon, Tidal, iTunes, Spotify, no matter where you listen to music at, no matter where you watch videos, no matter where you got anything audio at, type my name in. I got some shit that's going to pop up.
Okay.
Straight up.
All right, and subscribe to my YouTube
Shout
channel.
out to Electric motherfucking
Thank
Elevation. Electric Elevation, you know what I'm saying? We in here, you know. It's not the motherfucking, but Electric Elevation, man. Shout out to this queen.
I'll be back out in LA soon too.
I know,
Mess
man.
with you again.
You know, he already
We had a
Kev told me
ball.
what's up. It's on the flow,
We
man.
had a ball. Coming back out there to network, move and groove.
Let's do it.
All right, so y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel, Electric Elevation Podcast on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, and I appreciate this brother who took the time to come up to see me while he was here in Detroit.
Thanks for having
Be
me.
back to LA soon, and don't forget to tune in at 7 o'clock our time to his new single that's going to be on the radio.
One more thing before I get up out of here. Shout out to my motherfucking daughter, Malaysia. You graduating
Hey,
high school, baby. You're going
congratulations.
to Alabama A&M. I love you. I'm super proud of you. And it's because of you that I go as hard as I do, baby. Straight up.
Congratulations, that's awesome. Yeah, girl power.
Straight up.
All right.